The four-letter word that keeps most people struggling financially is fear. Now, I want to share a really quick story with you, and then I want to talk about exactly how fear keeps a lot of people struggling with their money. So I was having this conversation with someone, a young lady, and she was making about $30,000 a year as a certified nursing assistant, what's called a CNA. And she said she had been a CNA for 20 years. So I asked her, I said, well, why haven't you become, say, an LPN, licensed practical nurse, or an RN? And she told me that she took the test to become an LPN, but she failed the test. And so I had two questions for her after that. I asked her, number one, when was that you took the test to become an LPN to make more money? And why haven't you taken it again? Now, she told me, she said, hey, I took the test about a year ago. And then she said, then I asked her, why haven't you taken it again to see if you can pass it so you can make more money and increase your income from $30,000 to more? And she said, I don't really know why I haven't taken the test. And so I told her, I said, I think I know why you haven't taken the test again. And I said, it's probably fear. Fear of failure. Scared to not pass the test again. Scared to put yourself out there and try again. Just simply scared that you won't pass the test and you'll face failure again. And guys, listen, she agreed. The point is that it's fear that's keeping her at $30,000 a year as a CNA instead of $50,000 a year as an LPN or more as an RN. It's fear. And if she had just a little bit more courage, she'd be making a little bit more money. And if she had a lot of bit more courage, she might be making a lot of bit more money. Now, here's why I shared that quick story with you. Because this happens to a lot of people. And a lot of times people don't even really know that what they're battling is fear that's holding them back and keeping them struggling financially. So let me explain to you why fear keeps a lot of people struggling financially. So the first thing is this: people are just flat out afraid of taking risk, especially when it comes to something like their money and their personal finances. And this fear of failure, it prevents people from doing things like pursuing their entrepreneurial ventures, right? Trying to start a business. It stops people from getting the extra certification or getting the higher education or trying to actually take the test again, right? It just stops people in their tracks when they're scared of failure. But here's the thing about money and life. If you want to win more with money and in life, you have to be willing to fail more and start using those failures as encouragement. And stop looking at failure as this some bad, horrible thing that's going to get you emotionally distraught and upset. You got to look at failure and say, you know what? I'm going to punch you right in the face and I'm going to keep on going despite failure. Yeah, I failed, but I'm going to use failure and turn that thing around for my good. So you have to be willing to try a lot more because you have to be willing to fail a lot more if you're trying to get better at anything. But you cannot fear failure and live a safe life, because that's going to keep you in that low-paying job with those low-paying skills that will keep you in that hamster wheel of life in a cycle of poverty, constantly never having enough because you're scared to get out there and try and take that test again or get that certification, right? You got to get out there and look at failure differently. Another thing is this: some people just have a fear of change. Right? People tend to resist change, even if it might improve their personal finances, right? People have a fear of sort of stepping outside of their comfort zone. And when you have a fear of stepping outside of your comfort zone, it's going to keep you in a cycle of poverty. And poverty is going to become way too familiar, and you're going to be way too comfortable with being poor, way too comfortable with not having enough, because you're scared of the change that's out there, because you have a fear of change. The fear of change will hold you back from progressing in life, in money, in relationships, you name the category. Now, here's another one. Some people have just a flat out fear of rejection and a fear of being negatively judged or fear of being criticized. And that can stop people from trying to get a promotion or try to ask somebody else to mentor them or help them or coach them. Or it can even keep you from networking with the right people. getting new friends as an adult. See, all your friends don't have to come from when you was 15 and 18 and 22 years old. You can get new friends as an adult. But sometimes if you have a fear of rejection, it keeps you from knowing the people that you need to know or doing the things that you need to do to increase your income, right? You could be missing out on opportunities because you have a fear of rejection. You ever heard somebody say, well, I don't want them people to judge me, or don't judge me, right? You've heard people say that, right? See, for some people, the fear of being judged or the fear of rejection makes it easy for people to stay isolated and stay to themselves. And what happens when you stay isolated and stay to yourself, growth won't happen. You can't grow because you can't get around the people that you need to be around to help you grow. You miss out on opportunities because you decide to isolate yourself. Now, I'm not saying you have to have a ton of friends, right? Or you got to be the life of the party. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is get over your fear of rejection and put yourself out there and go get it done. Stop making everything easy on yourself because you say things like, that's just the type of person I am. Okay, but listen, the type of person you are is not to make $30,000 a year. The type of person you are is to make $300,000 a year, to really make more money, earn more money, become more valuable, help more people, right? You can't do any of that if you're scared of rejection and you isolate yourself or you have a fear of being judged. Look, I know for a fact that there's some families and there's some communities that will make you feel bad when you have ambition, you have dreams, or you want to go a different route and do different things and spend your money differently and not go on that vacation, but work on this in terms of your money, work on that budget, talk about saving, do the envelope system. When you start doing that, there are people and communities and families that will not like you, that will ostracize you, that will make you feel bad about what you're trying to do. You're out here trying to break generational curses, and they're out here living generational curses, right? It takes courage to get over that. You cannot be fearful of the rejection that's going to come when you start bettering your life with your money. You cannot be fearful of what they say about you and what they think about you and how they're going to judge you when you decide to make a different life for yourself, with your money, with your personal finances, with your decisions. Now, the other thing is this. Some people have a fear of success. Think about it for a second. Because success for some people, it comes with new responsibilities. It comes with new expectations. It comes with new pressures of things that are coming your way. So there are people out there who say, nah, I don't really want to be a manager. But they sort of secretly want to be a manager, but they just don't want the added responsibility that comes with it. There's some people out there that are flat out scared of becoming something bigger, becoming something more than what they already are. In other words, as I said before, people get comfortable where they are, and people sort of shy away from that. They shy away from the pressure. Some people have a fear and a worry that achieving financial success is going to separate them from their comfortable social circle of people or friends, or it's going to come with some type of increased stress when you are making more money or being more diligent about your personal finances, or it's going to invite some type of envy or conflict, right? Some people make up in their mind that success is going to cause more problems, and so they'd rather stay in their comfort zone, right? Some people just have that fear. Okay, now the other problem with fear is this. Fear can sort of foster, in my opinion, a scarcity mindset, where people sort of believe, there's never enough money, never enough resources, never enough opportunities. So I'm going to have to cling to my money. I'm going to have to put my money under a mattress and cling to it. Or I'm going to have to put my money at the local bank down the street and get 0.0001% interest on it instead of putting it at that brokerage account at Vanguard or Charles Schwab. Instead of doing that, I don't trust them people. I don't trust the stock market. I don't trust anything. All I trust is that my money is sitting down at that bank down the street, or it's under my mattress, or it's in a safe at my home. Listen, that mindset of scarcity is built on the back of fear, and it causes people to avoid investing their money, avoid making sure their money is participating in the stock market and growing along with American businesses. Or it makes them avoid any long-term investing, long-term planning, right? Haven't you heard people say, well, you can't take it with you, right? So that's their excuse for living in fear and living in a scarcity mindset. You can't take it with you, so I'm gonna spend it all up right now and not worry about 5 years down the road because I may not make it, right? You've heard people talk like that. That's a scarcity mindset that is built on the foundation of fear. Think about the story about the 3 talents. Now I'm gonna let you go do your research on the 3 talents. When you hoard money, it's not a good thing. Your money is supposed to make more money. Your money is supposed to grow. You're supposed to take your money and go out and produce more. So when you get a moment, look up the story of the 3 talents because it describes this scarcity mindset with money to a T. We got to remember something about fear. Fear is an emotion. And you have to recognize that whenever you mix an emotion with money, you're going to get a bad outcome 99% of the time. You cannot let emotions drive your financial decisions. And when you have so much fear, what you're doing is you're allowing the emotion of fear to drive how you handle and manage your money. Now, I'm not saying just go out and be willy-nilly and invest in whatever and do whatever you want to do. That's not what I'm saying. So I like to tell people that, look, if you're going to be investing your money, you need to consider dollar cost averaging into whatever you're investing in. Instead of holding your money and waiting for the stock market to dip and trying to time it and jump in and jump out. No, just dollar cost average, right? Where you're putting a certain set amount of your money into the stock market every single 2 weeks or every month or every week, whatever it may be, right? That's dollar cost averaging. That gets rid of the emotional piece to invest in your money. That totally negates any of this fear you may have. And our job as investors, consumers, human beings is to mitigate fear as much as possible. So let me tell you a few ways to do that. How do you sort of overcome fear, right? Because I just don't want to tell you the problems with fear without giving you some suggestions. You have to first get into financial literacy. You got to learn as much as you can about money, how to manage money, how to handle money, how to think about money. Because whenever you get educated about something, it sort of eliminates or helps kind of break down some of this fear. And it sort of breaks down some of the things that you're scared about if you just learn more about it. That means you got to read the books, keep watching the YouTube channels like this one, keep subscribing to the podcast. I don't care what podcast it is. If you feel comfortable with it and you feel comfortable with what's being said, it makes common sense to you, then you need to listen to it, because anything that you educate yourself on has a tendency to sort of demystify it, make you less fearful about it because you're more educated about it. So the more you learn about money, the more it reduces some of that emotion called fear. Get that education. Then you have to practice the behaviors and doing stuff despite fear. One thing you can try is at least once a week or maybe even once a month, you go out and do something that challenges the emotion of fear so you can get used to doing things even while you're scared. Get used to doing things even while you have fear. Because look, fear is a natural emotion in all of us. I'm not saying never be scared and just jump off the cliff with both feet. I'm not telling you that. What I'm saying is take calculated, educated risk on a regular basis so you can get accustomed to and used to actually attacking fear and doing things despite fear. I mean, think about the people you see on the internet doing these YouTube videos, or people you see that are athletes or at sporting events, actually performing their sport in front of a bunch of people, or people that work on stage and actors and actresses or stage perform, whatever it could be. All these people have fear. All these people are scared. But what happens is they learn to act and do even while they still have fear. And so for the young lady I was having the conversation with, look, you failed the test to be an LPN one time last year. Fail that test 15 times before you decide to go a different direction. Fail that test over and over and over again and keep attacking it with different strategies until you pass it. The people around you aren't no smarter than you. They're no better than you. They're not more intelligent than you. But listen, they may have a little more courage than you, but you can get courage, right? You can be taught to get courage. Attack it. Go back at it. So what I told her was, let's try it again. Let's use a different approach, maybe some other study habits, some other study tools, some other resources, and let's go back and take that test again. And if you happen to fail another time, that's okay. Let's take it again, because you have to have the courage to keep going. You have to have the courage to get over your fear. You have to be able to say, you know what, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. Look, you cannot eliminate fear. It's a natural human emotion, but you can change your response to fear. And you can learn to make financial decisions in life based on educated decisions, and you can begin to act despite fear. Do irregardless of fear. Just my opinion. Be careful about that 4-letter word called fear that keeps a lot of people struggling with their money. The best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you. Guys, take good care of yourself and take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.